close the debate. We'll close the debate. So I've got just a short one, if that's okay. Over the last 12 months, residents have seen all of their household bills rise: gas, electricity, petrol, food, and so much more. Tonight's recommendation of a 4.7% increase in council tax will have left all elected members with a bad taste in their mouth. It's not something we want, and it's definitely not something we foresaw when we started the budget setting process. Many of us are involved in community groups and organisations which try to help residents as best they can. This council and every other council have again been let down by those holding the purse strings. Now, following discussions with the 151 officer, the chief executive and the monitoring officer, we've been left in no doubt where we will be if we can't put forward a balanced budget. Welsh Government commissioners will be called in, and all decisions will be taken out of the hands of elected members, resulting in many important decisions being delayed, or could even mean that they will be cancelled indefinitely. One of those important decisions comes later tonight with agenda item 10, Sustainable Communities for Learning, with its recommendation that the inclusion of a new build greenfield special school in the local authority's updated Sustainable Communities for Learning strategic outline programme be approved. Now, as councillors, we were elected knowing that we'd have to make some really tough decisions, but also knowing that by making those really tough decisions, we would still be here and still in a position to bring forward positive outcomes that would benefit everyone in Merthyr Tydfil. Okay, Councillor Geraint-Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I will be brief. It has been a difficult process, you know. As I said at the beginning, you know, the sands have been shifting so fast, and at this moment in time, they still haven't resolved the teachers' pay dispute, and we don't know how far that's going to go yet, and where that's going to leave us. So things are still moving. We've been questioned on our integrity, and I find that quite rich coming from Councillor Carter, to be fair. And the other thing that was mentioned about this administration not working with the Labour group. Well, we have monthly meetings with the Labour group before every council agenda. They have full access to the officers and to the shadow cabinet. But what I would say, for the last two meetings that was in our agenda, the Labour group have failed to meet with us, and that's their choice, not ours. So I'll put that on the record. And that's how I will finish the debate tonight, Mr. Mayor. But I just hope, as everyone said, we've got to make some tough decisions. And I hope everyone makes this tough decision tonight and supports this budget, which would have been a very low council tax if we'd had the Welsh average settlement from this Welsh Government. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Geraint-Thomas. Councillor Darren Roberts, I'm afraid you can't speak.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
The only reason why Councillor Roberts might be able to speak is if it's a point of personal clarification. Is that what you're intending, Councillor Roberts?
Yes, spot on, Monitoring Officer.
That's the only exception, Councillor.
Yeah, just like to correct the leader on that. It was the last meeting, which was obviously yesterday, is the only one I believe we cancelled. I don't think because we met with you before the special, and we met last month. So I think it was only last night's meeting because we didn't have anything to say because obviously we were still having conversations with officers. But, you know, I might be wrong on that, Geraint, but I think I might be right. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Darren. Okay. I'm going to hand over to the monitoring officer to go forward with the vote.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Councillor Darren Roberts has already indicated that he would be requesting a recorded vote, and for that to be agreed, I need 5 members to support that. So can you just do a show of pressing your hands and I can see if we get to 5. There we are. We've gone past 5. That's fine. If everybody can put their hands down, I will now call out your name and ask you if you are for, against or abstaining. And this is in strict alphabetical order. So Councillor Andrew Barry, are you for, against or abstaining?
Monitoring Officer, my camera's frozen. I can still see everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Right, well, for then.
Thank you. Councillor Brent Carter.
Against, Monitoring Officer.
Thank you.
Mine looks to be frozen as well for some reason. That's not a bad thing,
Oh.
mine.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. Councillor Malcolm Colbran.
4, monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Jeremy Davis.
4, monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Davis.
4 carries.
Thank you. Councillor Ernie Goldsworthy.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Kevin Gibbs.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor David Hughes.
4.
Thank you. Councillor David Isaac.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Julia Jenkins. 4. Thank you. Councillor Claire Jones.
4, please.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Jones.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor David Jones.
Against.
There he
Sorry,
is.
Madam Officer.
I just couldn't see where you were on the screen. Thank you. Councillor Michelle Jones.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Paula Layton. Councillor Paula Layton. Oh, there, I can see you.
Shout.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Lewis. You're still on mute, Councillor Lewis.
Apologies, Caris.
That's
I'm
all right.
voting against.
Thank you. Councillor Lisa Mitten.
I'm 4, monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Richards.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Darren Roberts.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Declan Salmon.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Jamie Scriven.
Sorry, Caris, you cut out then. Can I just confirm you asked my name then?
I did. Councillor Jamie Scriven.
Thank you. Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Bill Smith.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle Simmons.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Geraint Thomas.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Ian Thomas.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor John Thomas.
4, monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Scott Thomas.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Tovey.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Minute Vokes.
Against.
Thank you. And Councillor Anna Williams-Price.
Thank you, Caris. Against.
Thank you. So, Mr. Mayor, that is 15 for and 15 against, and therefore it falls to your casting vote to make the decision.
4.
Thank you. And therefore that is carried.
At least they didn't get splinters on their arse this time, innit?
Sorry, can we not make comments now? We just got the matter through. And Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to just move on, thank you.
Thank you very much, Monitoring Officer. Agenda item number 8, update on progress of 6 schools of unscheduled care. This has been deferred until a later date, I believe. Agenda item number 9, housing service update.
Sorry,
Mr. Mayor, you've missed out.
You've missed item 7, sorry.
Sorry, yes. Item number 7.
I do apologise.
Yes.
Get carried away. I do. Right, agenda item number 7, Council Tax Resolution 2023-2024, to consider the report of the Chief Executive. The Cabinet Member for Governance and Resources, Councillor Andrew Barry, will be presenting and moving this report. Sorry, Andrew.
No, it's fine. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Council Tax Resolution 2023-24, the Local Government Finance Act 1992 requires this authority to disclose its calculations of its budget requirement and council tax for 23-24 and the statutory resolutions, and to approve the formal council tax resolution for 2023-24. The budget requirement for 2023-24 is £152,589,856, with a Band D council tax for 2023-24 as follows. Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council of £1,828 and 34 pence, an increase, as we discussed, of 4.7%. Police and Crime Commissioner for South Wales of £324.47, an increase of 7.4%. And the Bedlinog and Trelewis Community Council of £33.28, an increase of 38.9%. The formal statutory council tax resolution for 2023-24 is included Appendix 1. I'll go to the recommendations, Mr. Mayor. 2.1 to 2.4. 2.1. The formal statutory council tax resolutions for 23-24 as outlined in Appendix 1 and summarised in paragraph 5.1 be noted and approved. 2.2. The Police and Crime Commissioner for South Wales approved precept for 2023-24 of £6,040,911 for the Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council be noted. 2.3. The Bedlinog and Trelewis Community Council approved precept for 2023-24 of £38,985 for the Community Council area be noted. And 2.4. The Welsh Government 2023-24 non-domestic rate for Wales of 53.5 pence in the pound be noted. I move the recommendations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Andrew Barry. Do we have a seconder for this agenda item, please?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Geraint Thomas. Any questions from members? Okay, nobody's indicating. Oh, Councillor Darren Roberts.
Yeah, apologies, Mr. Mayor, it was slow going up. Just to keep in context with the previous report, I'd like a recorded vote on this one as well, please.
Oh, there's 4 recommendations in this. Will it be for you voting against all recommendations?
It would all be taken together, I think, Mr. Mayor, unless Councillor Roberts is asking for it to be done separately. We would normally just take it as all of the recommendations as one and have a recorded vote on that.
Yeah, take it as one, Monitoring Officer, please.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Darren, for that. Any other councillors or questions? Councillor Minor Folks, I did see your hand, but it's gone down again.
It was an error, Mr. Mayor, sorry.
Okay, no problem, that's fine. Any comments from members? Councillor Malcolm Colbrand.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As many of the Labour members have already mentioned here tonight, a combination of global events, energy prices, inflation and the cost of living crisis have combined to create the perfect storm of financial hardship the residents of Merthyr Tydfil find themselves in. Councillor Scriven put it particularly eloquently, I think, and I'm sure that I'm not the only councillor here who's had residents in tears because they can't afford to top up their pay-as-you-go gas meter or have had to go hungry themselves to ensure their children can eat. So I feel especially sorry for the hard-pressed residents of Bedlinog and Trelewis, which according to the ONS census 2021 has the 6th highest number of households in deprivation in the whole of Wales, who not only face the prospect of a 4.7% council tax rise and a 7.5% rise in police and crime commissioners precept, but also a shocking almost 40% increase to their community council precept this year. And this comes on top of a 20% rise in the precept last year. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Colbrand. Councillor Michelle Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As elected County Borough Councillor for Bedlinog and Trelewis and Cabinet Member, I have been involved, cited, consulted and scrutinised in an onerous process which has been publicly documented and visible to reach the 4.7% decision in council tax. For my residents, we are the only ward within Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council with a community council. As part of this, as outlined, we have an additional community council precept. This increase is 38.9%, and I need to make absolutely clear that their decision is not one made by myself or County Councillor Malcolm Colbran, but that of the community councillors of Bedlinog and Trelewis Community Council. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks. Thank you, Councillor Michelle Simmons. Councillor Ian Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The figure of 38% that you mentioned, I'm not sure if that's accurate. Last year, the precept was 28,000. This year, the precept is 38,000. I think that's more like 25%. But in any case, it's 38,000. The figures were prepared by the clerk, very professional clerk that we've got. They were fully discussed at a meeting of the Community Council, and that was a decision. The overall charge that we're talking about to have a Community Council is about 60 pence a week for the residents of Bedlinog. And for that, the Community Council provides a wide range of services. We are 1,000th of the size of Merthyr Tydfil Borough Council, so we don't have the opportunity for any economies of scale. We've got one clerk to the council and we've got one cleaner, so there's no scope for reducing staff. We have additional duties put on us. We have to work more collaboratively with the County Borough Council, and also the Welsh Government put demands on us, such as insisting that we have training for our councillors, and it all has a cost. The council tries to provide progressive services and meet the current needs of the people. They educate the children. We've got flower beds for them to work on. We've got planters to improve the environment. We work to provide warm spaces. We run a community centre, which is used by lots of community groups. Well, all that really, and we provide grant aid to almost every club and organisation in the village to encourage the life of the village and to help all the groups and clubs along. Everybody works hard. I don't think any of the councillors take any allowance for it, although it's mandatory that they do unless they opt out. So all in all, the council does its best. It's a very small amount per week added to the rates, and I would say it gives good value for money. And if the people in Bedlinog didn't think it was good value for money, there are avenues which they could take to close the council down. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ian Thomas. Nobody else is indicating that they'd like to comment, so can I hand this over to the monitoring officer? Oh, sorry, Councillor Andrew Barry.
Yeah, it's very interesting what Councillor Ian Thomas has just said, that 60p down in Bedlinog Trelewis. The figures in Merthyr on Band A properties, of which the majority are, did you know the difference between 3% and 5% on Band A properties is 60 pence. So it's okay for a Labour council to put 60 pence down in Bedlinog and Trelewis, but it's not okay to put it on the residents of Merthyr. Single-handedly, Councillor Thomas, you've just pulled the rug under your party's arguments for voting on the earlier paper. Brilliant. Thanks, Ms. Mayor.
Unfortunately,
Thank you,
Councillor
Councillor.
Barry has closed the debate.
Yeah, so sorry, Councillor Scriven, you can't come in at this time. Okay, all comments are finished. Can I hand it over to the monitoring officer, please, to conduct the vote?
Yeah, and again, there's been a request for a recorded vote, so can I just have a quick show of hands to see if we get over 5? There we are. We're over 5. Thank you. So again, I will read out everybody's name in alphabetical order and ask you if you are for, against or abstaining. So first of all, Councillor Andrew Barry, are you for, against or abstaining?
Just checking, so my screen is still frozen, having come back from that breakout room, but you still hear me, yeah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, for, thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Brent Carter.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Malcolm Colbran.
Yes, for.
Thank you. Councillor Jeremy Davis.
For monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Lee Davis.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Ernie Galsworthy.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Kevin Gibbs.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor David Hughes.
For.
Thank you. Councillor David Isaac.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Julia Jenkins.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Claire Jones.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Jones.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor David Jones.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle Jones.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Paula Layton.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Lewis.
I'm voting against. Thanks, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Lisa Mitten.
I'm voting for, monitoring officer.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Richards.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Darren Roberts.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Declan Salmon.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Jamie Scriven.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Bill Smith.
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle Simmons.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Geraint Thomas.
For.
Thank you. Councillor John Thomas. Oh, sorry,
For.
that's the wrong way round. I'm so sorry. I had you the wrong way round. I need to take Councillor Ian Thomas first.
Against.
Thank you. And Councillor John Thomas next. Sorry.
For, Caris.
Thank you. And Councillor Scott Thomas.
Against, Caris.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Tivy.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Louise Minette-Vokes.
Against.
Thank you. And Councillor Anna Williams-Price.
Thank you, Caris. Against.
Thank you. And so that again is 15 for and 15 against. And so, Mr. Mayor, it will fall to you again for your casting vote, please.
Thank you, monitoring officer. For.
Thank you. And therefore that motion is carried.
Thank you again, monitoring officer. Okay, this time, agenda item number 8, update on progress of 6 schools of unscheduled care. This has been deferred until a later date. Agenda item number 9, housing service update, temporary and supported accommodation. This has also been deferred until a later date. Agenda item number 10, sustainable.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question on agenda item 9, please?
Well, it's been deferred, so.
Yeah, but it refers to the deferment. Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, fire away.
This is the second consecutive time that this particular item has been deferred. Can we have confirmation that we'll absolutely come before council in April?
I believe Alan Owen would probably answer this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You've got concrete, assurance that it will be coming in April, Councillor.
Thank you, Alan, and I do understand the reason for the deferment this evening. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Alan, and thank you, Gareth. Okay, agenda item number 10, Sustainable Communities for Learning, updated strategic outline programme. To consider the report of the Chief Officer for Education. The Cabinet Member for Education, Councillor Michelle Jones, will be presenting and moving this report.
Thank you. This report provides an updated position on the Sustainable Communities for Learning programme, which was formerly the 21st Century Schools programme. The programme includes the 3 former Band B projects, which were Penydre, Goitre and Blessed Carlo Acutis, as well as a proposed new build project for Greenfield Special School. Matched funding has been set aside to finance the current approved projects within the Council's mid-term financial plan as detailed in Table 3 in Section 6.1 of the financial implications. Greenfield section 4.27 to 4.39 outline the rationale in support of a new build Greenfield Special School and estimated costs are provided in Table 2 in section 4.40, with the local authorities match funded contribution detailed in Table 4 in section 6.3 of the financial implications. If approved, the aim is to carry out site investigations in 2024-25 and to begin construction in 26-27, ready for occupancy in September of 2028. I'd just like to take you now to the recommendations at 2.1. The inclusion of a new build Greenfield Special School in the local authorities' updated SCFL strategic outline programme be approved. And also at 2.2, the local authorities match funded commitment to deliver the SCFL programme 23-24 to 28-29 as detailed in section 6 to be approved. I so move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Michelle Jones. Do we have a seconder for this agenda item? Councillor Malcolm Colbrand.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm really pleased to second the recommendations in this report tonight. In 2017, shortly after being elected to the council, I emailed Mr. Murphy, the then headmaster of Greenfield School, to congratulate him on the results of their recent Eston report, and I was invited to visit the school when some things struck me immediately. Not only how happy the pupils were and the positive atmosphere throughout the school, beg pardon, positive atmosphere throughout the school, but how enthusiastic and proud of the school all the staff were, but also the condition of the buildings and the unsuitability for a special school. Following my visit, I was delighted to have been asked to join the governing body. And last year, I had the great honour of becoming chair and being able to work closely with the current head, Rhiannon Stevens-Davis, who has continued to improve the school despite the problems caused by the unsuitability of the premises. So I'd just like to highlight a few short paragraphs from the report. 4.34, Greenfield's current school building is in a poor condition and its overall suitability as a teaching and learning environment is also poor, with classrooms that are small in comparison to the building bulletin guidance. 4.35, the building was not designed specifically for special school demands. Corridors in the school are narrow, which impacts on pupils with large electric wheelchairs, and there is little space available for the storage of specialist equipment, such as standing frames. And 4.36, there is therefore a strong case for change to create a new build special school for Greenfield, fit to deliver education in a suitable environment and accommodate the needs of ALM pupils in Merthyr requiring special school provision over the long term. Greenfield pupils deserve a modern purpose-built school fit for their needs. And I know that many people have lobbied long and hard for a new build. So I'd like to thank Sophie Nichols, Anthony Lewis, Sue Walker and everyone else involved in bringing this report to the council tonight. Tomorrow is the Governor's spring term meeting. And nothing would give me greater pleasure than being able to report back to them that the recommendations in this report were approved tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Malcolm Colbrand. Do we have any questions from members? Councillor Kevin Gibbs.
taking a while for my mic to go on to come off mute. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Right. I welcome this report coming because a new bill for Greenfield has been well overdue. My question is, Mr. Mayor, with the budget, and I don't want to make assumptions, but obviously the earmarked site of the Heartlands, as we all know, is the old steelwork site. Just wondering whether that figure of 58 million includes any ground investigation and clearing of any contamination, because obviously the last thing we'd want is to put our special needs pupils on contaminated land.
As part, so I'll come in there, Councillor Gibbs, if you don't mind. As part of the part of that funding, that will look at the contamination and will look at what needs to be done to ensure that the school will be safe for the children and young people.
Yeah, I never had any doubt you would, sir. But is there a contingency built in case the level of works required to make it safe spirals out of control?
There's always contingency built into our Band B, or as I still call it, Band B work. Whether as it moves forward, we would have to consider that as it moves forward. But there is always a contingency built into what we put forward.
Lovely, thank you, sir.
Is that it, Councillor Gibbs?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Ian Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Could I tell Caris, please, that my battery died on me during that debate, and I haven't heard most of it, unfortunately. I've just managed to get it back on now.
Okay, that's very honest of you.
Unfortunately, Councillor Thomas, I think if you, as you very fairly told us, weren't able to hear all of the debate, you wouldn't be able to vote on that.
Thank you very much, Caris.
I think members are beginning to struggle with connection now because we've been at this meeting for nearly 3 hours, and I think that there are people beginning to struggle with connection. So yes, but thank you for letting me know, Councillor Thomas.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Ian Thomas. I think we're on the home run now, or home straight, sorry. Any other questions from members? Nobody else is indicating. Any comments from members? Councillor Jeremy Davis.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I welcome this, Mr. Mayor, because Greenfield's been looking for a new school for a long time. So if we could do this and build this for them in the future, I think that the land they got up there to what they got now down Pendra Park, they could do so much as amazing for people with all disabilities. And I really welcome it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Councillor Gareth Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to say, I welcome the very well put words of Councillor Colbrand. Greenfield School has been part of the community of Pendra Park for 42 years, I believe, almost 42 years. I very much hope that it continues to thrive there until the new site and onwards in the future. So thank you for your kind words, Councillor Colbrand.
Thanks. Thank you, Councillor Gareth Lewis. Councillor Anna Williams-Price.
Thank you. Obviously, the current Greenfield site is within my ward, and I've been able to see the great work it does, not just for its own pupils, but in engaging with the wider community. Pupils at Abercanid Community School, which I'm a governor and also a parent, visit the cafe at Greenfields, and it's always an enjoyable experience for them. So although I would be sad to lose it from my ward, undoubtedly the pupils of Greenfields deserve a modern 21st century school.
Thank you, Councillor Williams-Price. Councillor David Hughes.
Yeah, as Councillor up in Dowlas, I really look forward to welcoming the children up to Dowlas and welcome them, and let's hope that that school is purpose built and that they will have a long and fruitful time at that school. What if you were lost down in Penderbark be our gain? So that'd be nice for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor David Hughes. Councillor Geraint Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, and like everyone else who spoke so far, you know, you've got to welcome this great new addition to the borough. You know, it's long overdue, and it's going to be a fantastic environment for the children to grow up in.
Thank you, Councillor Geraint Thomas. Councillor Brent Carter.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I won't prolong it any further, but without sitting on the fence tonight, I just want to echo everyone's comments here and thank Malcolm for his kind words. I've been a ward councillor for the last 15 years, and Greenfields has been in the ward for a lot longer than I have. The new school will be a great asset, so thank you all very much for that. And I'm really grateful this report has come forward tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brent Carter. Anybody else got a comment? Okay, I've just got a little one. As I mentioned earlier, the independent group made a tough decision tonight so that we would still be here and still in a position to bring forward positive outcomes for our residents, such as this. Thank you very much. Monitoring Officer, can we take this to the vote then, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So can I ask that anybody who wishes to abstain on this item, can you please show now? Thank you. Anybody wishing to vote against the recommendation, please show now. Thank you. Anybody wishing to vote in favour of the recommendation, please show now. And that's carried, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Monitoring Officer. If everybody could lower their hands then, please. Just a couple left, one left. Malcolm. Lisa. I think it's lagging a bit, so when you go to turn it off, it comes back on a bit. There's no more votes.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I think it's gone down now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, Malcolm. Okay, agenda item number 10 to deal with any other urgent business or correspondence. 11. I have none. Agenda item number 12 to receive communications from their worship the mayor. I have got one little one. Won't delay you long. I would just like to wish all our wonderful ladies everywhere a fantastic International Women's Day, because let's be honest, without you ladies, us men will be lost. And that's it.
Quite
Thank
right,
you
Mr.
very
Mayor.
much for your attendance today, and I formally declare this meeting closed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you.
Good night, all.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.